Okay.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Let's take a picture of you.
Like this. Should I go on the other side?
Yes,
go the other side.
Put it just.
Pull.
Yeah. Oh.
Schlep.
Pull it just.
Give a schlep.
That's beautiful.
I just read the verses, translation. Orech yameh v'bina b'smola osher v'chavod. Long days filled with true service of Hashem. In the right hand of Torah, the left hand brings wealth. Who is wealthy is happy with his portion, and kavod brings true inner honor. The tzibayom means it's the pillar of the day for the yeshiva on his yortzeit. Eitz chayim machazikim ba, it's a tree of life for those who give support to the Torah. Yeshiva is small. The tomchea nusha, those who support it will have great happiness.
It's beautiful.
Rachabim Shulchem Amrodim Namsei Menucha Nazoi Rakam Yashem Gilo Umaloy Kedoshim Atzerim Kezoruki Abazirim Estishmas Achaznu Rabbi Yitzchak Ben Rav David Sholach Yoelomoy Babu Shikuron Mitzpalelim V'Yaratz Nishmosoi V'Ganei Eden Teimenu Chasoi Luchim Al Rachamim Yatzrei B'Sei Seklufov Yoelomim V'Yitzro Rachaim Es Nishmosoi Arneu Nachalosoi V'Unuach V'Sholoi Mal Mishkovoi V'Nemal Romei That's just to read here. Hiktish Chayav V'Sameach Anashim Berat Panim V'Kucholim B'Avat Chesed. He dedicates life to make people happy, receiving them with a face filled with light, visiting the sick, and loving to do kindness. Mukdash al Ishto Mishpachto V'Shivto. Cantor Selig of Frankfurt, New York, Jerusalem, loyal cantor, or Hav Shalom Synagogue for 3 decades, followed by friendship support and attractive support for the Kiruv activities of Yerushalayim. Died on the 2nd of Iyar, aged 91, out of 775, dedicated by his devoted wife, family, friends, and the yeshiva. Tien Avshod, Tzurah B'Tzro Rachaim, may his soul be bound up with a bond of life with the living God Hashem. Now we could go over to the dining room.
You want to say Kaddish?
It's Kaddish. Yizgadal v'yizgadash shemei rabo, v'yizgod v'rochiru v'sei v'yamishma v'sei, chayu chaynu v'chaynu v'chaynu chol beis Yisroel, Bagolo v'zman korev v'imru omer, Yizbuach v'yishtabach v'yitzbuach v'yisroma v'yisnasei, Yizador v'yisali v'yishalol shmid v'yishab v'yishab Ve'ela mikal v'vosov v'shirosov v'vosov v'nechmusov v'amiron v'olmo v'imru omer Yehei shalom rab min Shemai v'chayim olinu v'akol Yisroel v'imru omer Yiseh shalom v'imru הוא יעשה שלום עלינו והכל ישראל וימו אומר Chazal teach us that when a person dies, Hanav Lakir, Hanav La'am, that's a good sign. If his face is just turned to the wall, it's not this wall. And that is, those of you knew him, and as we heard described before, that the major characteristic was, as also says in Mativa, that all his life, he helped many people, receiving them with a smile. In fact, he gave out also his leaflets. Almost anyone who he met, they said, yes, keep smiling. And he himself was always interested to help others. Not only those acts of chesed, his biko cholim, that's accompanied throughout his life to visit the sick, which is one of the ways to fulfill the Ahavta Lecha Kamocha. And this was, I think, on the basis of a very deep quality that he had, was also tzadi b'yichye, that true life, the servant of Hashem, comes from being filled with emunah. In his characteristic way, he said, we Jews have the best immune system in the world. Immune is emunah. And emunah is the strongest power also to make a person feel that every human being is created with B'Tselem Elokim. And many people say it, but from him we can learn how to live it, how he lived it. He lived it not only times when everything was easy, but he was doing enormous acts of kindness. Like, for example, he and his wife, they were the ones who paid from their savings to have a sukkah here. You know what that's important to the yeshiva. Apart from what he did for the yeshiva throughout the years, so he combined the emunah. Emunah expresses itself by which manner? By manav la'am. Because a person who's got true emunah, it's shown to the extent to which he's able to help other people. And for this, this actually, I think, first mentioned by the Shloah Kodesh, the 613 mitzvot. And these 630 mitzvot are hinted at in the 630 letters of the Decalogue, the Ten Commandments, which is 620 letters. The question is, so why 613? There's 620 letters. The answer is, it's given by a famous episode when the non-Jew came to pillar and to teach the whole Torah standing on one pillar, one leg. What's the one leg of the Torah? So this is what the Shloah says. 630 mitzvahs are in the word of the Decalogue. And the last 7 are Asher L'Re'echa. It all stands on Asher L'Re'echa. What is your attitude to other people? Are you really loving all other people? So how do you express this? Even when he was in pain, living in the hospital, he used to give strength of Emunah through his words of smiling, even when he was in pain. We heard it, sometimes it's too difficult, but I hope that continues. So, what he did for the yeshiva is enormous. Very grateful for the way last year's his widow. Last year's she was not able to do so much. She continued to help us. It's continuing even now. And tefillah is, after all, on the day of the Yortzeit, this is what Chas v'Sofer says, that when Abraham Avinu died, there was a pearl all through the life of Abraham Avinu. It is hanging on his neck, and everyone was healed. That was his power of chesed, of loving kindness. And when he died, Hashem put it into the cycle of the sun. What's that mean? He put it in the day of the Yortzeit. So on the day of the Yortzeit, which is the cycle from the time of his nifta, let us hope that also all of us learn Anav la'am, should be concerned with others, and that often gets a person out of his own difficulties when he thinks of others. And he's here to help others. Therefore he forgets about his own problems. So he minimizes it by giving to others. Let us hope we all learn Zichrono Livracha, the memory of his character and all his midot, which he transformed also into the song to Hashem. Let us hope that Zichrono Livracha, his blessing, will bring consolation. His memory will bring consolation and blessing to all our lives, to follow his example.
Months have gone by, and from day to day, the more time passes, the more we miss Cantor Selig. Not just Inga, but everybody who knew, everybody who was close to him, feels the same way. And I'm speaking for my wife, for my parents, for my brother God, who is supposed to be here. Anyway, to say a few words, this period between Pesach and Shavuot, every Shabbat we read the chapters of the last Mishnayot of Seder Nezikin, Pirkei Avot. Pirkei Avot is emulated in the words of the Mishnah, Derech Eretz Kodma LaTorah. We all know that Cantor Selig grew up in came from Frankfurt, and he was always proud of his heritage, of his legacy, like we are, and Rabbi Zitzman, of Torah in Derech Eretz, which was started off by Rabbi Shimshon Feinberg. You come from. Anyway, I'm not just talking about Torah in Derech Eretz, but going a step further, Derech Eretz Kodma LaTorah. And I would like to quote from this week's Perek. You know, Shabbat continues till Tuesday, the previous Shabbat. So we read the second chapter. And the second chapter begins with Rabbi Omer, Eizeu derech yishara sheyavor lo adam. What is a straight path that the person should clear for himself or go by it? So it says, Kol shi tiferet losa, everything that is glorifies the person who does it, and he glorifies himself in front of other people. Then I'd like to go on to the last Mishnah. That's the first one. which also אמר להם, צורו איזה דרך ישרה שידבק בו אדם. רב לזר אומר, עין טובה, a good eye, a good eye for people. Rabbi Yeshua says, a good friend. Rabbi Yossi says, a good neighbor. Rabbi Shimon says, someone who sees the consequences of his action. Rabbi Lezer says, lev tov, a good heart. Rabbi Lazar, sorry. And then he said to them, Rabbi Lazar said to them, רואה אני את דברי אלעזר בן ערך, שבכלל דבריו דבריכם. Everything, he said a good heart, that includes all the good attributes that we just mentioned. Good eye, a good friend, a good neighbor, and someone who sees the consequence of his actions. שבכלל דבריו דבריכם. I'd like to go back to the first Mishnah and quote the Rambam. The Rambam says, "Kol shi tiferet lo sa." The tiferet lo min adam means going on the middle path. Kegon hanedivut. Nedivut meaning what? Being beneficent, being, yeah. That is the middle way between Pazranut, which means, and Kamtzanut. Pazranut means being too affluent, on the other hand being miser. Because if he'll be a miser and collect, make a fortune, it will be for himself, it will glorify himself, but people will not glorify him. If he'll give too much, go too far, people will glorify him, but it's not glory for himself, because he might come to what? Poverty, very good, and he'll become needy. And that is referring to all the midot which we mentioned. Now, what I read now emulates Cantor Selig. Cantor Selig had a good eye. He was good to his neighbors. He was good to everybody. He loved him. He always smiled. He always had a good word for everyone, and he was always giving and doing for others. If it was, and on the other hand, he was also a chazan, so he gave his voice to the public, and he was always serving everybody else, and he was certainly everything he did brought glory to himself and to everybody, and everybody who was around him had only praise to say about him. During the period that I knew him, I've known him for about 40 years, he was always helping. I mean, I was very close to him and Inga, and they were always doing for the yeshiva. Whenever I used to say to them, let's do this and let's do that, and I wanted to, no, we don't need it. Don't bother, we don't need all this. It's enough what we do. And that's how they went through life. On the other hand, we have to have gratitude. So we used to do it, we used to force it through. And then they accepted it. And that's how they were. They were always, and it's not just in Dvar Yerushalayim for the last 40 years. It was in their shul, they were like that. In Washington Heights, Torah Derech Eretz. And also he used to volunteer once a week to visit the sick and help and do all kinds of religious duties in Shari Tzedek. He didn't just visit the sick. He used to see that there was a minyan and that they had all their needs. But he never used to feel that he was doing something special. On the other hand, people around him, and that's a combination of these two mitzvahs, which is derech eretz kodma Torah, because worrying about other people and being part of the community and serving the community. On the other hand, people were also praising the saints for what they were doing. Anyway, I would like to wish you Arichas Yomim, should have many years, many happy years with all of us, and I wish you all the best, a lot of health, and carry on, Inge, the good work as Cantor is doing, and you're continuing, and I hope we'll be able to receive the Mashiach very soon.
Anyone wants to know more about that? Please.